away.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Jeff at Geek. Thank you for joining us for our episode of Movies and Shows, where we're going to review Book of Bobba Fett, Chapter 4. And right now, let's go ahead and introduce our panel. We've got...
What's up, asshole?
Couldn't wait 5 minutes, but okay.
No, I couldn't. Hey, there's only two people in here.
You should have started with me.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, do you have anything go through your long box of shows? No. What's up? I'll pass off on to Anthony. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Not too bad. Looking forward to talking about the episode today. It was pretty good. You know, got some answers. How about you, Jeff? How you doing?
Chilling, man. It's been a long week already. I think we're only halfway through. Yeah, I'm tired.
It's the sad thing is it's a short week for me, and it feels like it's fucking way longer.
This is just the beginning of hell because I don't get a day off until like May.
Oh, so. That really? You don't even get President's Day? That sucks.
Yes,
that's lots of overtime.
You work for a private company.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but we're here. Thank goodness I got to watch the episode before I went to work this morning, and yeah, it was a good episode. Actually, I really liked it. It's a lot of setup, but we'll get to that in a minute. So obviously we saw. Let's review real quick over the third episode.
You don't want to shout the chat?
You know what? Let's give a shout out to everyone.
All two of them.
So let's give a shout out to our moderators. So we got Rudy, we got Something Wong, we got Deanime Exetera, and Glenn 2K12 from across the pond. Thank you guys, and thank you to our resident DJs, DJ Abomination and Plainclothes D for the music. And I guess we'll give a shout out to the few people who are in the
one of which is Anthony.
Oh my god! So let's give a shout out to Uncanny Swag. What's up, man? Thank you for joining us. And then we got Eric the Phoenix. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. And of course, someone doing double duty, making it feel like we got multiple people in our chat. We got Anthony. All right. Well, that was quick. And so we'll review the episode just real quick of episode 3. So in episode 3, he basically finds out that
he's a Power Ranger.
Okay, I guess we'll start with the mods.
He's a Ranger.
We'll start with the mods. So I guess he finds his little crew, his little backup crew, and then he finds out that the mayor has been setting up everybody and working for the Pikes, and the Hutts, supposedly have had enough, and war is bad for business, so they supposedly hit the road. And
that's someone's belly or their cat growling. I could have swore either belly growling or a cat meowing.
I don't know what you...
I'm losing, folks.
I don't have a cat.
Neither do I.
You're
that's
the only
what I figured
one,
your bellies.
And my phone wasn't vibrating, so.
But anyways, and then so that's pretty much the gist of it. Where also his tribe of Tuscans were killed by the speed bikers. So he's got some revenge to take, and here we are at chapter 4, And now we are getting to know Fennec Shen. This is where he gets to run into Fennec. So he, now that he's on a mission to get revenge, he's roaming the Dune Sea with on his bantha, and he gets to Jabba's palace, and he checks it out with his gun, hit the scope, and realizes there's way too many guards, and he's got to go. He doesn't understand. We don't understand why he needs to be there or wants to be there. But we figure it out pretty soon after he hears a gunshot. And if you guys didn't know or didn't hear, you heard the Mandalorian like song.
Music.
Yeah, the music, the theme song. And he sees the flares, the explosions, the Mandalorian taking off, and rescues Fennec Shen. And this is where we get to her origin. If you guys don't know, if you've watched any of the animation, you know that she's actually part machine, part human. So, and this is where she gets her machinery.
The chop shop.
Yeah, Boba takes her to the chop shop, the mod shop, right? Over at the edges of Mos Eisley. And you see these hipster mods standing outside this parlor, and it's like a tattoo shop almost, right? A tattoo
pretty
parlor.
much.
And yeah, they go inside.
Doctor.
and we get to meet this your broke ass version of Lando, because he's got that cape.
Yeah.
And basically he goes, hey, she's dying. Here's credits. I need her fixed, and fixes her up, and now we're at a campsite where she wakens up.
Before you get to that,
yeah,
was it just me or the girl that he was first working on there looked like the girl that's part of the Boba Fett squad later on?
Yeah, no,
the
they were there.
Yeah, I think she was the one getting the neck thing or whatever, that triangle thing.
I didn't even notice that. I was thinking that in my head, but like I was like, but some of them didn't look like any of his mod.
No, they
squad.
weren't all the mod squad, but I noticed her at least. Also, to go back, he did say before the Fennec thing why he was trying to get in Jabba's palace.
Oh, did he?
He did mention that his ship was there.
Oh, I didn't know that, or at least I wasn't paying attention.
I think he didn't refer to it as Slave One. He said,
"No,
we'll get the air spray." He says the air spray or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, but he mentions it after he finds Fennec. That's in the camp.
He does it twice.
Well, who's he talking to the first time?
He was talking to the Banta, because when he said to the Banta, "We're not going to do it today."
Yeah, he said, "We're not going to do it today. We got to come back."
Right, but he mentioned, I want to say, when he was kind of talking to Banta, that he mentions his ship was there or something like that.
Let me see something.
Maybe he did. I don't know. I missed it. I must have, like I said, I was tired. So
I just watched it a little while ago. That's why I remember.
So then we get to the campfire, and she realizes that she's, alive, and she's in Boba Fett's care, I guess. And basically she's asking, who are you? What am I doing here? And he explains to her that he saved her from a gut shot wound that she was dying from. And the only thing he could do for her at the moment was to get her modded. And that was the only thing to save her life. So, she looks down, she's a little startled, but she's alive. And I'm pretty sure any assassin would be like, sure, why not, right? Because they're in a line of work that they expect to die anyways.
Yeah. The one thing I thought was interesting is that the pods thing that he breaks open, how he talks about it, makes it sound like it's almost a drug.
Well, he talks it a lot like it's almost medicinal.
Yeah.
So it's like remember when
opium or
the
something.
Tuskens took him first, and he was like pretty much out of it, and they pusted one of those things out and just poured it into his mouth.
That was different, because that thing looked a little phallic. Not trying to make a joke, just
no. I'm not talking about the worm.
Okay.
I'm talking about they gave him some of that
He
black.
had to dig it. He had to dig it out through the sand.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah, that was
There you
later.
go. Yeah, so
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was a medicinal properties in it, some kind of like water.
Yeah, because it's natural.
I like how he said you'll get addicted to it, like you'll crave it.
He's like you won't like the taste at first, but then your body will crave it. And to me, that sounds like
it's spice.
Drinking like
maybe it's spice
milk
in there?
like opium milk or something.
Or it could be like, yeah, maybe.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
A little pumpkin spice. There you go. So anyways, so we get to the point where she's, he basically asks him, who are you? And he goes, I'm Boba Fett. And this is a real big theme in the whole show.
Yeah, I think he gets annoyed that he's essentially forgotten.
Well, I feel like this is like the return of Boba Fett. This is like the legitimate return. We see everything that I wanted to see Boba do. He's taking revenge. He's going out and being a badass.
But like Fennec Shan asked, all right, who are you? I'm Boba Fett. Like, well, Boba Fett's dead, so who the hell are you? Almost like if he was using Boba's name. Because Boba Fett had a reputation. He was feared.
But I don't think he was upset that he was missed, because he even says later, he goes, I'd rather everyone think I'm still dead.
But I think that he had a possible change of heart, after seeing that, while people didn't know him, but he could get around anonymously in town. Now, that's not the case. But
do you remember also beforehand, Fett never took his helmet off. Like, no one knew what Fett looked like under the helmet. Before he fell in the Sarlacc pit, no one knew that. So it's very easy for him to go, hey, I'm Fett, and not actually be Fett. We know he is, but I could see Fennec going, yeah, try again. He's dead.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Bib Fortuna told everyone he's dead.
Oh, right? Of course. Are you kidding?
So, I mean, that's the obvious thing. And so what do you guys think so far? Like, meeting Fennec, showing her origin on this episode?
I like the fact that we're starting to tie some shit up. It's and as we go farther in the episode, I'll go with that other stuff. But the fact that now we, at least from his point of view, we're caught up to the Mandalorian now. So it's like we're not worrying about, did he go on some pilgrimage and find the kid and find everyone else from the Sand People? No, it's just we assume they all died now. And it's kind of like, hopefully we're not going to get as many flashbacks now.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, because let's get to that point, right? Well, we know that he gets out of the Bacta tank, so eventually, toward the middle end of this episode. And we're going to skip a little here. So, and basically the robot, one of the droids says, "Oh, Master Fett, you're completely healed." So, like I said in our first review, I always thought that every time we see the Bacta tank, we're getting a flashback, right? Mm-hmm. So no more Bacta tank, he's healed. So no more flashbacks, because also
I think we still will.
Yeah, but Fennec Shan had a point though, because yes, he's healed on the outside, but he still has his inner scars, his inner demons that he still is going to wrestle with.
Well, but that was the whole episode, right? Him getting his revenge on all those scars.
But, what about Daddy? He's still got daddy issues.
Some tells me we're not done yet.
His daddy issues, that's going to be a whole nother thing. Because
we're going to get flashbacks with those.
I swear to God, if we see Mace Windu at any point.
That's the only thing I'll save this show, is if we see Mace Windu at the end.
No. There's something that's going to save the show next episode, and I'm telling you right now, they coming. And we'll talk about that.
I said this in episode 2. This is going to be like Arrow. Every episode is going to have flashbacks. So,
well, we'll see what happens on the next episode, because I think There's only 3 more episodes left.
Right.
And it looks like it's about to get really good. So before we jump ahead, let's go back a little and let's talk about where did we leave off? We left off Fennec, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He found Fennec and
he got her. He got her fixed.
All right, Jarek, do you know what happens next?
After Fennec, that's when they decide to go encase Jabba's palace.
Right.
Fennec asks him basically, "Hey, do you know how many guards there is?" And he's like, "I can't really tell. They're kind of going in and out." She pulls this nice little like droid, comes out and goes around and checks it and maps out the whole joint, kind of like a cheat code in any video game.
But the one thing it shows about Fennec Shan is that she's got the tools for the job. You know,
Right.
like she is what he's been missing in order to finally start moving forward.
She is, in Punisher terms, she is his weasel.
Oh, she's more than that.
Well, she's more than the weasel.
But still, in a lot of ways, that's she fills things that need to be filled. But anyways, they decide to go on a mission to get into the place. She also tells him, "Hey, why are we doing this?" He's like, "I want to get my ship." Disney has them say whatever name is the fake name of it.
Right.
We all know it's Slave fucking One.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
Fuck you, Disney. It's Slave One. Just call it what it is.
Knew that was coming.
Well, you gotta figure. So they end up going in there to have some fights. The kitchen scene was cute.
Yeah, with that little robot like, screw you, I'm turning myself off.
The rat catcher.
Chef droids, man.
The chef droids actually are cool.
I've never seen chef droids. Have you guys seen chef droids before?
Yeah.
No.
Where?
I'm trying to think what they've been in. They've had chef.
It had to be in an animation because I don't remember seeing it.
I mean, they've had server droids.
They've had certain. Well, R2D2
I've seen
is a server droid.
Right.
But I've never seen.
They haven't had chef droids.
Yeah.
I mean,
I believe,
to my knowledge,
maybe
as far as the shows,
I could have swore they've had them, but maybe I'm wrong.
Hey, one
but
of
the
them was
rat
cool.
catcher, the rat catcher.
That
I was just like, really, you're gonna go that cute route? That is so gonna be a stuffed animal coming at Disney.
I thought that he was gonna trap him and he was gonna roast himself.
No, I just love the rat just goes, okay, I give up.
Click. I love how it looks like a bigger fucking rat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a triangle like net.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And that chef dude, that one chef that got that Grievous.
He was like
the Grievous arms.
Grievous. Yeah, with the
I was hoping for so much more from that guy.
Except that he was a reject.
Yeah. And then Fennec just comes up and goes shank to the neck. He's like,
yeah, that was too easy for her.
Yeah. So they basically go through and clean house a little bit, end up getting the ship. After that, what does Boba Fett need next? His fucking armor. So he goes back to the last place he remembers wearing it.
Well, before he goes there,
time for
he gets a little revenge.
Yeah. He goes plays
it's so funny
duck hunt with the speed racers.
I don't know if you guys felt the same way when you were watching this scene, but every time I watched that scene, I was like, this is like a hilarious. It's so unfair. It's like some guy who's swatting at like flies, right? It's all it is. It's this guy in a big ass Slave One fire spray.
It's not even just unfair, it's just petty, which is even better. Because he's just like,
that's exactly what it is. It was petty and it was just like laughable.
No, I wouldn't know about petty, but it was just completely one-sided.
Oh yeah.
He comes up from behind them, long distance. It's straight out of a video game.
Well, first off, I thought it was funny when you first see them. You see a couple of them riding bitch, which I'm going, okay.
Yeah.
Why would guys in a bike gang be riding bitch ever?
Well, that's because they lost about 5 bikes.
Right.
That's true.
But that happened, And then by the time Boba shoots through all of them, he saves the last one so he could just blow it up with a rocket. He just shoots a missile at that one. And I was just like, that's petty.
Well, I think he just wanted to make sure that
you're
the leader. You get special treatment.
Yeah. But that was interesting. And then he goes after his armor.
And this is where we find out the answer to a lot of people's question. Whatever happened to the Sarlacc? Right? Yeah. Everyone thought the Sarlacc was dead once he got out.
It got a depth charge in the gullet. Yep.
That was the
right
best.
In the gut.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Well, I love the fact that he ends up telling her afterwards, "Don't touch my buttons."
But, yeah, I thought was petty. You know,
and she looks at him like, "I just saved your fucking ass again." Right? Yeah. Like, dude.
First she warned him. Then she
don't get too close. Yeah,
and he still had the nerve to open his mouth.
Well, remember, this is the second time she saved him because the first one was when they got out of Jabba's hut.
No, right.
Like, she took out like a dozen fucking guys by herself and shot the freaking counterweight.
Yeah. Right, and beat the crap out of a few of them, hand to hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she warned him though, like, don't get too close. And what happens? He got too close.
Yep.
So hey, Beskar is worth a lot of money, man.
No,
it's hard to come by.
Yeah.
It's so hard to come by.
Well, also wasn't that originally his father's armor too?
Yes.
And so that's really why he's like, I need that armor back because that's the last thing he has of his father.
And that's probably exactly what it is. But I wish they would have at least flashed back to Jango at some point during that, like the reason, like showing the reason why he wanted to get that armor. Because I think that is the reason.
Well, I think that they're just assuming that if you're watching this, you've seen The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So you saw season 2. You saw, like how they met, how he got his armor back, the whole story behind that. So, why go into the whole, which I think that they still should have done it because there probably are some people who are seeing this for the first time that haven't seen The Mandalorian.
Well, it makes sense that he would have, let's all be logical. If aside from Mandalorian stuff, because we know what happens, the first thing, if I've lost them, I'm going to go back to the scene of the crime of where I last remember having it. So, it makes sense that he goes back to the Sarlacc pit.
No, it makes sense because remember, he also was basically, he could barely breathe inside the Sarlacc pit, right? Inside the stomach. He was he's basically half dead, if not more than half dead because
when
of
the Jawas stripped him,
Yeah, well, he was like breathing in all the fumes. He desperately got to the stormtroopers airline, right? Like, he barely got out of there alive. He had to crawl out and dig himself out. And then on top of that, like, he's in the middle of the sun in the desert, right? So he's probably dehydrated. He's almost dead. And so there's no way he could remember anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's asking a lot of a person.
I do hope that he does not take vengeance on my poor Jawas.
Ooh, but that's the thing. Remember, he doesn't.
Well, he doesn't
exactly. He doesn't know exactly who took it, and that's hard to do. He managed to trace the armor, but by that time, the Mandalorian had it.
Yeah. Right. But he could theoretically.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but
I'm hoping they just go, okay, petty. You watch Mandalorian. Well, it's not that he's being petty. It's that he is trying to find that arm. I'm saying before he sees the Mandalorian, goes to the Jawas thinking that maybe the Jawas have it.
Well, see, that's the thing, because I think by the time he finds Fennec and does all of this catches up to the Mandalorian.
Right.
Or at that point where he gets Fennec and gets his fire spray. I think that's telling us that he caught up to the Mandalorian, that we're up to date.
That's the case.
And then that's why I feel like we're probably not going to get too many flashbacks at all. If any,
we're gonna get some Jango flashbacks, guarantee it.
Maybe that. maybe that as long as we don't go
else.
tell any more stories.
we might get a flashback, kind of doing a montage of the episodes that you missed, or if you haven't seen Mando,
right?
We might just get like a little flashback
you,
of the other guy wearing his armor.
Oh yeah. Oh, Vance.
Yeah.
No, Val.
Yeah.
Vance. I was just thinking Guardians.
Yeah.
So, anyways, he finds out, damn armor ain't in there, right? He's covered with freaking acid. He's burning up, and she suggests that you need to get to a bacta tank to heal up.
Yep.
And where are we at after that?
I believe, isn't it the bar scene?
Bar scene
with Black K.
Oh no! So this is where he gets out of the bacta tank, right?
Yes.
Right.
And then from there, yes, then he does go to the bar. Yes.
Yeah. Because he says, I need to make my presence felt.
Right.
Get the armor. Before that, she's interrogating the major domo of the mayor, right?
Right.
And he's spilling his guts, but there's still no mayor to be found. So he wants to make sure that everyone sees that he's still in charge. That because there's all the pikes are landing in Mos Espa.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah, and so he wants to make sure that everyone knows that
he's around.
What is it? Power doesn't like a vacuum. So is what he says.
Right.
So he needs to make sure that everyone sees him, and so it goes straight to the bar, right?
Which might be my favorite scene coming up, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Jessica Biel's bar, and we see Black Chrysanthemum having a drink and getting pissed off. He's getting pissed because why? He's watching Trandoshians gamble and making money and celebrating, and he's just you can feel his seething underneath him, right?
Well, he's also hammered.
Yeah, well, he's hammered, but this goes back to exactly what Boba was saying earlier. He's making fun of Chrysanthemum about the Trandoshians, who were his slave keepers, right?
Right.
So he's getting pissed and he doesn't care. All of a sudden, you just see his knuckles, just lighting up, and he goes after him. He just starts beating the crap out of like 3 or 4 Trandoshians. Just one goes flying across the room right next to Boba Fett as he enters.
They had no chance.
Oh hell no!
No
chance whatsoever.
Yeah, I just love the one that he's just squeezing. You look at the guy's eyes, and they roll. I mean, they're literally like rolling, and it looks. I mean, the CGI is
so
bad.
It was so sad.
But I mean, it looked like Star Trek quality CGI, like from the original series.
Wait, are you gonna complain about the eyes, or we're gonna complain?
No, just in general. I thought the eyes was great. I thought in general they looked bad, but it made me laugh because you're just looking at it, and he's going like they're like just because Beale's doing a little spiel, and he's going like and you see his eyes like this going.
Please help me. Please help me.
But like whenever Chewbacca opened his mouth, you could tell it was like the lips were there, they were moving. When this guy opens his mouth, it's like it's I don't know, a piece of wood slapping, instead of an actual mouth. I don't know if it's a puppet or some kind of fake mouth, but they should just put a person in there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it just it cracked me up, that scene. And especially, I thought for a sec when Jessica Biel's character is talking him down, like, "Hey, yeah, you owe us a lot of money in your tip. I'll wipe your tip. Just put the Trandoshan down. We'll be fine." And then the next thing, he just rips his arm off and goes, basically, like, "I don't care about the money."
That's what Wookiees do.
But the good thing is the Trandoshan can grow that arm back. But that's take some time.
The funniest damn thing in the world. You just knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
You knew it was happening.
No, you knew.
And he was like, "Well, it was worth a shot."
He goes, "Okay, well, I won't rip off both arms. I'll only rip off one." And he pays his tab, takes off,
pays it in full.
And Boba sees this, and he's like, opportunity. Goes outside, says, "Hey, you look like you need a job."
Well, we all knew that was coming.
Oh yeah. We all called that last time when we first saw him, right?
Yeah.
So now we get to that scene that we've seen in all those original trailers, right?
Yes.
Where he's like the Dom and he's sitting at the head of the table, and you've got the other family, the top family members, and they're having a powwow, and Fennec's explaining to them, you guys couldn't take care of Bib Fortuna, even though you tried, and you guys had done well under Jabba. So why don't you, if you listen to Boba, you'll do the same. And Boba basically asks, I want to, give you guys an offer, and I want you guys to, join in the defense against the Pikes. And this is where you get the dissent, right? These guys are going to test him. He's supposedly the new Dom, and they're like, well, this is not our fight. Why would we? They're only after your territory. Why would we give up our men to die for your cause?
We like Sun Spice.
Yeah. And why don't? Yeah, we're already making money, and
I like how he shocks the hell out of all of them.
He says, why don't we just kill you? And
Yeah. And the baby Rancor did not like that.
Oh no! Don't threaten Daddy.
Man. Oh yeah. And they all jumped up. They're like, holy crap.
Well, obviously,
who put a Rancor down there?
Well, who puts a freaking dinner table over the Rancor's freaking?
Oh, he did that on purpose.
Yes.
But I'm sure but they probably figured that pit was empty.
Yeah. I love Fennec's look though. when he did that, or when that happened, she just kind of looked at him like, yeah, you got this, Daddy.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was her idea.
Oh,
possibly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was her idea because she seems to be the smartest one.
Yeah.
And so they all sit back down. Never has to answer the question, right? Because I'm pretty sure the Rancor, scaring the hell out of him was enough. And he says, okay, well, I'll fight them on my own. The only thing I ask of you is you don't go and betray me when the Pikes come to you asking for you to join them.
Yeah, to stay neutral.
Right.
One of them's going to do it.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
And we all know which one it is.
Well, we think we all know which one.
Yeah.
It's going to be the guy at the head of the table.
I'm sure. Was that a Clatuian?
Yeah, I don't know what his
the one from the Zizor clan or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they all agree
right.
because he's basically going to take care of their problem, because they all know if the Pikes take over Espa, they're going to start taking over other territories as well. They're not going to want one piece.
Exactly.
They've already got one territory, one huge swath of territory, right? If they take Espa, that's two. Yeah, how many more are left?
Right.
So you think that they understand that it's in their best interest to let him fight him off, at least try. And if he succeeds, yay for them. They never had to lift a finger, right? And if he doesn't, well, then they'll have to, reconvene.
Yep.
But the Fennec asks, do you trust him? He goes, I trust them to have their own interests.
Yep.
And that self-interest will most likely be so that, they're not gonna want war. It's bad for business too. Right.
Yeah.
And then he goes, well, I'm gonna need an army. I'm gonna need people. The mods are out there looking for the Pikes and the mayor, but I mean, there's just 5 mods. What are you gonna do with 5 mods, 2 Gamorrean guards, and a Wookiee?
Hey,
right?
Don't forget Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo's busy. He's got to take care of the Rancor.
Hey.
He's the Rancor, babysitter. Okay, he's a Rancor sitter.
I mean, even though the Rancor is going to be unleashed on whoever comes attacking, but
I get it. I guarantee Danny Trejo is going to kill somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah.
of course.
And I'm hoping they give him.
Can't have Danny Trejo in there without him killing somebody.
Give him a vibro axe or a vibro machete.
Just give him a big ass knife, please. Just give him a big ass sword, and we'll be happy. And then you hear, he goes, well, how much money do you still have? How many credits do you still have? He goes, I got plenty stashed away, because probably from his old bounty days, right? He probably stashed away his credits.
Oh,
and now he's back. He can go get it. And she goes, well, you can buy a lot of good people with money, with credit. And all of a sudden you hear this Mandalorian theme song again.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting if he comes on.
Is that where we end?
Yeah, that's where we end.
Yeah, that's where we end.
They're kind of they're on the balcony overlooking.
Right. Like you can hire enough people as long as you know where to look, Yeah.
So I mean, let's talk about everything. What do you guys think so far?
I was gonna say, who do we think, other than obviously Mando, could be the potential that he brings back or he hires? Well,
see, here's my theory is, we know where Mando is now, because this is all caught up, right? This is where they had parted ways, is after Luke takes Grogu, right? And we know that Mando is with the other Mandalorians. He's with Bo-Katan.
Right.
So because they have to go back to Mandalore, right? They got to take back their world, their planet,
right?
And they have this long mission, but before that, it looks like they're gonna have a side mission.
Yeah, so hopefully you can see all of them.
And guess what? Who's better for war than Mandalorians?
That's true,
right?
Do you think there's?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Do you think there's a chance Boba Fett might get to hold the Darksaber?
No.
You don't think he might get in a fight with Bo?
He doesn't want it.
No, because Bo doesn't have it.
I thought Boba got it at the end of the.
No. So she wouldn't take it from the Mando.
Oh, the Mando has it. That's right.
The Mando has it. She won't take it because remember she's with her Death Watch, right? Or what? Not her Death Watch, but her other Mando.
The only way to get it is
by winning in battle,
right?
So what if, because the Mando doesn't necessarily want it?
Oh, he was going to give
it to her. He was going to straight up hand it to her.
He can't give it to her.
Doesn't want it, right?
So this is just a theory out there. He doesn't necessarily want it. We don't know for sure that Boba Fett's never come out and say, I do not want the black saber. There's never been anything out there saying he does not want it.
No. He said, we had a deal. Here's a Darksaber, and she was like,
No. Boba.
Oh, Boba. Right, that's true. But the problem is, I don't think Bo-Katan will let that happen unless.
Okay, go ahead and finish what you're gonna say.
Because look, the way that she can only take that Darksaber is the death of the person holding it. Okay. Right.
So, go ahead.
But that means that the Mando has to die in order for Boba to take it, or she can't accept it.
So let's correct that though. Because she could take it from Bobo. If he takes it from, just because he takes it from Mando does not mean she has to kill Mando and kill Boba Fett.
But she has to kill Boba.
She has to kill Boba. But if he's done, stop and think for a sec here. He keeps going to the back to tank. They're showing that he is getting old. He is getting ready to die.
No, they're saying
No.
the back to tank was because he was in the Sarlacc pit. She even mentions it about the acid.
I would just say they're leaving those little breadcrumbs because we know this is only going to be 2 seasons. They've come out and said this already.
I don't.
The guy playing Boba Fett is too old to do this for a long period of time.
But I don't remember them saying it's only 2 seasons.
I remember hearing that somewhere. I'll double check and find it for you. But I'm just saying, in theory, if this is 2 seasons, like I think it is, like I thought I heard, they're leaving breadcrumbs saying that he's not as powerful as he thinks. He is not as healthy as he thinks. If she kills him, it would fulfill like his kind of need for the family whole thing, because he's bringing Mando back. He's bringing the Mandalore back because he knows that she's going to do it. And he's going to get back with his father. She would have no qualm killing him because he is, in a sense, kind of
he's a fake Mando.
Right. He's bastardized the Mandalorian ways.
Well, he's never been a Mandalorian.
Right, but he walks around in Mando armor.
Right.
And he
But it's rightfully his.
It's rightfully his, but this is the thing. If, let's say I go out and buy a Boy Scout uniform and I go do a bunch of horrible fucking Boy Scout things, don't you think Boy Scouts of America is going to be a little pissed and be like, hey, can you please stop doing those things while wearing our outfit?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they have no say and couldn't do anything about it.
But don't you think Bo-Katan could have some say about, hey, you're wearing our armor, you're doing some fucked up shit, stop. He goes, no.
All I gotta say is I will have no more faith in Dave Filoni and Favreau if Bo-Katan kills Boba Fett. That's all I gotta say. Because you're gonna bring back Boba Fett for 2 seasons and just say fuck off for the rest of the world, the life.
Yeah,
I don't think so. Not the most beloved character that wasn't a Skywalker or had a freaking lightsaber.
How long do you think that the actor that plays Boba Fett can be in this role for?
As long as he wants to, as long as he can.
He's 70 fucking years old, dude.
And so, what is Harrison Ford doing right now?
Being an idiot.
How old is he?
I'm just saying.
A lot older than him.
Do you really think Disney is going to plan a future on keeping Boba Fett, the guy that plays Boba Fett, around?
No, but
for the next 10 years.
No, not next 10 years, but I have a feeling that they'll use him to set up the future. And that's the thing. You're not going to do it in 2 seasons.
So creating Mandalore and setting up that whole thing that's not on Boba. Okay, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I guarantee you. I'll put money on it. We'll bet.
So this is the thing. If you go back to the books, and I understand the books are not canon,
right?
But his whole thing, one of his strongest points, was he always wanted to bring Mandalore back.
Right, but
that was a huge thing.
And look at that everything right now that we've seen on screen. Everything that has to do with Boba. Not one mention of Mandalore. Not one.
Not yet. Not yet.
But in 40 years, not a single mention of Mandalore. To change his characterization that.
Fuck Bubba. Chuck him off the river. How is Bo-Katan going to get the saber from Mando?
They'll figure that out, but that's not going to
be. But they got to kill Mando.
No. They don't have to kill Mando.
No, she wants the blade. She has to kill him.
What if she wants to take it from him, but she doesn't want to take it from him because she knows she has to kill him.
So here's Boba Fett. Here's a fucking badass that you can use to go, okay, she's won it in battle against a guy that is worthy to be the Mandalorian. The guy that has stood as the Mando. I'm sorry. I'm that's not doing Boba dirty. You guys aren't seeing what the legacy is going to be bringing out of it.
Yeah, well,
Anthony, you're muted.
You're talking about like.
All right, Jr. Let me ask you: if Boba were to get the dark saber, he would still have to kill Mando.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No. Listen, that is Bo-Katan's thing. That is a Mandalorian.
That's not Bo-Katan's thing. That's
No.
the whole.
I can agree with Jr. I can agree with Jr. Mando can hand it over to Boba without an issue because Mando and Boba don't give a shit about the legacy of the Darksaber, right? Of how it transfers hands. So he can hand it to.
But Bo-Katan won't let that happen.
Maybe,
but how can Bo-Katan stop it if she's not there?
No, but she's gonna be there with Mando. She's there with Mando now.
But what I'm saying is, do you honestly think Filoni and them will go, hey, we're gonna create a problem for giving the saber up? She's gonna be pissed at Mando. She's gonna be like, why the fuck did you do this? Why did you give this? And it's gonna create a divide between her and him, which is gonna create great drama.
You think that she's gonna let that dark saber out of her sight?
Yeah, and
yes.
And give me the reason why Mando would give the Darksaber to Boba.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Why does Mando care about the saber?
Because now he cares about Mandalore because she's been explaining to him for that ever since he met her.
We'll see. I'm just telling you a theory that I'm putting out there that it answers all your things of, oh, well, Bo-Katan won't take it from Mando. She doesn't want to kill Mando. Well, then give it to Boba Fett. She'll gladly kill Boba Fett. She has no fucking problem with that. Boba Fett wants to restore thing. He's going to have to go in a couple years anyway.
I have one question for you.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't finish watching The Bad Batch, okay?
Okay.
Because you have Omega, okay, who's a full-fledged clone.
Right.
All right. From the original source. He's a duplicate. He or she's a duplicate of the original source material.
Yes.
In theory, they can either copy and make another clone, or Omega himself can become another duplicate of Boba Fett.
No, well, okay. So in the case
of Omega,
right.
In theory, they can.
They can.
Omega is a duplicate of the original duplicates, so it's not an original.
The thing that makes Omega special is that
she's original Dango.
She's an alpha, right? So
her DNA is an 100% is an exact duplicate.
No. But she also has special abilities, so they made it so that she also has whatever special genetics that they were able to pull out all together.
Right. No, that part I get, but that her DNA though is 100% match.
Can I though? Go ahead. Go and finish.
So, no, that and I get your theory, JR, on them killing off Boba, but just because they kill off Boba doesn't mean that the armor won't go to someone else.
Oh, I'm not saying the armor won't go to someone else.
Right, but
I'm just saying there's not going to be another Boba Fett.
But that person could still take up the name of Fett, or they could possibly replace it.
You're absolutely right.
Right. So
you're absolutely right. But this is the thing, and this is kind of going to Uncanny Swag. He says Bubba just wants to rule Jabba's territory.
For now.
You're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah.
I agree. He wants the territory. But he will do it by any means necessary if need be. If someone just pause for a second. Let me finish my fat fucking thought. If Mando goes, hey, here's a saber, use it. He will use it. Boba Fett will go, it's a weapon. I don't give a fuck. It may be in the heat of battle where Boba Fett, all his weapons are gone. Mando tosses him the saber because it's an extra weapon on slot. It could be something as easy as fucking that. You guys are overthinking it. Of they're gonna go, oh, here's the dark saber. Should I give it to you? Should I not? Bo's gonna be pissed at me. Oh, and you're not gonna hear the
difference between using it as a weapon for the moment and using it, and because right now that's still the symbol of the leadership of Mandalore. Whether
Okay.
it's used as a weapon or not, it's still a symbol, an extremely important symbol.
She's definitely not going to let that bitch.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying
have it.
Right.
So,
And if Boba in the heat of the moment uses it as a weapon, that still doesn't discount the fact that the technical leader is still Mando.
So this is the thing. I'm not saying Boba Fett's going to get it. He's going to hold it and flaunt it and have it for 7 episodes. He may have it for 1 episode.
Okay.
And it may be one of those things where, like I said, it gets thrown to him in the heat of battle.
Thank you.
Gee, that's another one. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I was like, he's still alive, right?
That's who Bo-Katan wants to kill.
That's what she wants to kill.
She
but
really wants to kill his ass too.
Yes.
But I thought he did get killed.
No.
Remember,
he was dragging him. He was dragging him and was trying to hand over the Darksaber. And then Luke came. And that was it. That was it. That's the last thing we saw.
But either way, I personally think they're going to have Boba Fett go out on a high note. And what's the highest thing he can go out on is redeeming himself by not going out as the crime lord, not going out as a bounty hunter, but going out as the guy that helped recreate Mandalore.
I don't know.
If he dies while having the saber, it clears up a whole lot of stuff that Bo-Katan doesn't want to do. She could take it from him, kill him, and his name carries weight. A whole lot more weight than fucking Mandalorian.
I get what you're saying. I still have a hard time seeing it because remember, if this was Jango Fett who grew up on Mandalore, that's one thing. Boba, all he's known is the life of a bounty hunter / dealing with crime lords. That is it. That's pretty much all he's known.
I just think with the fact that they keep going back to Jango, they keep bringing that up. There's something more there.
Yeah,
and it could be. And what was all? So you just said Jango grew up Mandalorian.
He grew up on Mandalore.
So Daddy grew up Mando.
Right.
I have daddy issues.
But
what can I do to fix my daddy issues? Well, Mandalore got fucking aced.
Yeah, but
my daddy would be very happy if I brought it back, wouldn't he?
No, his dad didn't give a shit about Mandalore. He left Mandalore on purpose.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. All I have to say is this.
Well, the next 3 episodes are going to be interesting.
I don't think it's going to happen this season,
timing.
but I think by the end of next season, Boba Fett's going to die. And he's going to give up the saber, and he's going to have possession of saber.
Man, I don't know how many Star Wars fans you just lost.
I don't know. I don't think that.
No, I think they're showing that you guys don't know what you're talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about in Legends, but I don't think it was going to work in the screen, and that's the problem because they never set it up. If they had set up any of this within any of the 40 years, just a mention of Mandalore, one mention. I would have been fine, but
so where in this 40 years were they going to do it? Because Boba Fett was dead at the end of Empire Strikes Back.
They could have done it in Mandalorian,
but in the comics they brought him back, right?
In
Dark Horse,
and all that stuff. Who brings back Mandalore? Who brings it back?
So Boba has a huge part in bringing back Mandalore. He's a huge part in bringing back all the Mandalorians together. So I get it. He
even so much that he sacrificed his ability to even go to Mandalore anymore so that they can have Mandalore.
I get it. But
it has been done in the 40 years, just not on screen because he was dead during the thing, and they brought Jango Fett in the other thing.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, because you're talking to like a whole nother generation of people who don't know any of this. Like multiple generations, not even just a generation, multiple generations that have no idea about any of that. And I'm not saying that it discounts any of it, but in the eyes of Lucasfilms, it's all Legends and it's all
Right.
We can pick and choose from it, but it doesn't mean they have to use it verbatim.
No, and I don't think they're going to use it verbatim because I don't think she's going to have a kid. They're not going to do the whole thing of he gets the
he ain't
the
gonna
DNA
have no
back to live and stuff.
Yeah,
I think he's going to die. The actor's old. It makes sense. It is what it is. If they had a younger actor playing Boba Fett, then yes, you guys are absolutely right. But I think they've got a very short-term plan for Boba Fett. He's 71 years old, the guy is playing him. He can't do this very much longer.
Well, man, you're an ageist.
We'll see.
No, I'm just looking at the fact that Bob Saget died at 65. You know what I mean?
Well,
People are dropping like flies.
We're not all built equal, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who die, who have perfect health, who run marathons, and they fucking keel over at 35, right? And then you've got people who smoke who live to 103 for every day of their fucking life.
You're right. But I mean, I just look at Disney's a smart company, and they plan for, hey, if we know we've only got you for a short term, we're going to plan for that. They had contingency plans for Bozeman when they knew that he had cancer this whole time. So I highly guarantee, I imagine they're going, hey, if you were to die tomorrow, this is what we have planned.
Well, I don't.
You also got to remember they could bring in another actor and still do CGI. If they
but then that cuts in the budget and stuff. It's a lot easier just to write a story where they've already written off his death.
I'm just throwing another.
No, you're throwing shit at the wall just like I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look,
what's up, Sheena?
Anything can happen. Filoni and look, I will give Filoni and Favreau all the credit in the world when they're doing these episodes, when they're doing these series. They know what the fuck they're talking about. They know they know their shit. They've done their research. They're huge fans. They're bigger fans than any of us.
Right.
Right. So go ahead.
Do you what do you imagine Boba Fett's going to be in 3 years? What's his arc, at least, is what I'm saying. Do you think he's going to be a domo?
I think he'll be a domo for a year.
And then what?
And then we'll figure out what we can set up for the future. Right. The way that they set up Mando, the way that they set up Boba Fett in the series so far, right, is that their connection is only that they've met, that someone had his freaking we call it his Beskar armor,
Beskar.
right? So that's the only connection that they have at all. There's no connection to Mandalore for them. No. Right now, but for Mando's story, his storyline ended with Grogu, right? Grogu's gone. Yep. So his new storyline it has to be the Mandalore story, because he's with Bo-Katan, he's with all three of them. He's probably going to meet more of them at some point. And so and he has the Darksaber. I mean, that's just simple as that gets, right?
Yeah.
That's his next storyline.
Do you really think the Mando wants to be the leader? Because he wanted to give the saber up. He's like, here. And then she's like, I can't take it.
But I think
remember what they said. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think that's going to be the storyline for season 3. It's going to be the whole thing between him and Bo-Katan. And that Darksaber.
It could be, but you got to also remember that back in the Clone Wars, they were, I forgot who said it, but it was like, the best leader is the leader who is the reluctant leader. Right. And he is the most reluctant leader at this point. And he has the freaking Darksaber. And he's not a bad person. He's actually a good person. He has good value. He has a good way.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Bo-Katan originally, she didn't want to be leader?
Same thing. She didn't want to be leader.
Right.
And then she got the taste of it. And then
now she feels that
she also grew up, because before she was very headstrong, and she was very like, I want to, get revenge on people and shit like that, right?
Right.
Whereas
and her
now
sister was the leader of Mandalore.
Right. But before it was all selfish acts. Now it's like it's about her people. It's about seeing that how fucked up Mandalore was after the Empire.
Right.
So that's this is her, like, she grew up, she's wiser, this is what she wants to do, but she still has
her
that
own vision. She has her own vision for Mandalore,
right,
for her people.
And I get it. Look,
and also she wants to do it because her sister died, and Obi-Wan was the one who in his own way bequeathed to her of her sister's vision.
Right.
So she wants to finally complete that.
Exactly. And so, like, I don't, and we already know what they think of Boba Fett.
Yeah,
so you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to see it, but again, it doesn't mean it can't happen. It's not impossible, but give me more seasons. And the only reason why I'm saying that is if JR is correct on his theory, you can't just turn his character right around like that in a season. So you need to give him a couple of seasons to at least get that whole Mandalore back story for him and give him the reasons and show us the reasons that he wants to do best by Mandalore. And maybe that has to tie into his father, but give us a backstory of that too, because we have no backstory. We only knew that he grew up on Mandalore and he left Mandalore forever.
But what if we find out, because all they have to do really is go, hey, Bubba, you're dying. You got some cancer you can't get cured from.
And that does happen in the books, yes.
And, well, I'm just saying, I'm not even going back to the books. I'm just saying that's the easiest thing if you want to take a character off a show. You can go, hey, he knows his time is up. Don't even have to bring in the whole Mandalore past thing and stuff. He could somehow get the weapon from Mando. And he has it. And Bo-Katan goes, hey, I don't want to fight you. You didn't rightfully get it. I don't want it. We'll go Jeff's route of he has to kill the person that rightfully won it. But he can go, hey, I have it. I'm dying anyway. Kill me. Right. I don't care. You know what I mean? He goes, I'm dying anyway.
And I'll give you that, but
he wants to go out a hero.
But give him 2-3 seasons least minimum before he gets that sacrifice. Because
if he was 60 years old, I would say yes.
Right.
Well, here's the reason why I'm saying this. Okay. His reason for becoming the daimyo is not just selfish. He wants to make a better place for Mos Espa, for Mos Eisley and the whole thing, right? Like, I believe he has a plan for Tatooine, or at least he has a better plan, at least in his mind.
I think you're right.
So for me, he has to complete a mission too. That's his mission at the moment. So let him complete that mission first. At least let it prosper a little, and let him fulfill whatever destiny he was supposed to fulfill, right? Because this is not his destiny, right? We don't believe that.
Right. So, but by the end of this, what I can see happening, I mean, is that, if they were to go JR's route, that, before he leaves to go to Mandalore to set things right, to put everything the way it should be.
I don't think he ever goes to Mandalore.
But hold on, that he shifts the leadership on Tatooine, on Mos Espa, to Fennec Shan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I can see that
she becomes the daimyo.
Because and I can see that because remember, she was the one who's saying, "Oh, well, you're a hunter, right? Like hunters, we don't get to pick when we want to die, right?
I mean, even though she's a hunter herself,
right?
She is.
But they're, it's like a nomad domesticating themselves, right?
Right.
So that's how I feel that this story is like. It's like that shogun, right? That wandering warrior who finally figures out that they want a family, right? And that they want a village, right? And then that's what they're trying to build. And that they're trying to change their stars. They're trying to change their lives. Instead of being these hunters that are going to be like, their lifespan is, very small and they're going to die in a very probably horrible way. Instead of being that and listening to dumbass people getting them into those bad situations, they want to live a better and more luxurious life, right? A more prosperous life. So they're trying to change it. And I get it that's not them, but they're trying to change themselves into that. And
he's definitely trying to make himself a better man. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think a heroic death is him. He would Boba Fett. Okay, just let me finish.
Right, Trump's a different type of life where he just dies peacefully.
Okay, but let me finish. Boba Fett, pre-Sarlacc pit, would never do a heroic death.
Oh, hell no.
He doesn't give a shit about anyone.
I agree.
He does not care. If they can make it to where he does a heroic death, he's either saving somebody, or if he has a saber and that's the way to get the saber to Bo-Katan, whatever. And they can make it justifiable so that we can go, okay, I can cry over that. They've done it. They've then changed his character, because now he's not the bounty hunter badass. He is now the hero badass. And that's what they're trying to do by giving him, he's now felt sorrow with his father. He's felt it with losing the Tuscans. He's almost lost. I mean, he's got a family now with Fennec, and now with Machete and all of them, the people he's creating. We're probably going to see an end of this season is going to end with him taking over as Dynamo. He's going to be in control. Next season, it's going to be about him maintaining it. That's just my theory, is that it's going to be him maintaining it and probably switching, by the end of it, switching over to Fenric. I don't see, I think because the actor's age is the thing that gets me. If he was 60, if he was 50, then yeah, we got time. Let's work with him. But I think they've got an exit plan already ready for this guy.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't think the age matters, because he ain't doing the damn stunts anyways.
No.
Okay. So it don't matter about the age. I think, I guarantee you ask the actor, he'll say, I'll do it until I can no longer do it. Right? And Disney, I get it, but I look, they're probably not paying him a whole lot. This guy ain't making millions of dollars.
No, he's making money at the cons and stuff. Is where he's making the money.
So it would behoove Disney to keep him at such a low rate and have such a popular show and keep the original actor. That's my thing.
Right. I understand what you're both saying. Okay, both of what you're saying, both of you has merit.
And it could go either way. It can go either way.
I just think having a story of him as a Dynamo is going to be a short-lived story. It just seems to me, you do that for 2-3 seasons. He's doing it for 3 episodes. People are going already.
Well,
let's be honest.
Setting up his quote unquote his reign,
right? But let's be honest. Out of like all the Marvel and Star Wars shows so far, this one's getting a lot more criticism than any of the others. And I understand it's because of character building and all that,
right?
But still, what Jeff's talking about is another 2-3 years of character building,
right? But that's because of the slow start. We're so slow on this first season, right?
Yeah, this is
the fact that we only got, oh my god, I'm pretty sure out of the first 4 episodes, we probably got 2 episodes worth of whatever's happening now. Right, and maybe even a little less than that. So most of it has been backstory, background, flashbacks. So I get it. It's been so slow. I'm hoping that they do more, because I want to see him as Daimyo. I want to see him, the notoriety of being Daimyo go across, the outer rim, right? And then the fact that his name is, he's back. Boba Fett is back, and then every enemy he ever had comes looking for his ass.
But can I ask you,
Bosk and stuff like that? If they're
can I
still
ask you a question, Jeff? Though,
do
you want to see Boba Fett the Dynamo, or do you want to see Dynamo or whatever, or do you want to see Boba Fett as the mercenary? Because to me, it sounds like you want to see the badass fight scenes of him as a mercenary.
No, I want to see him as. Here's the problem. See, when you're a person like Boba Fett with his notoriety, you have a name, and that name always is going to be a target. no matter what, right? So that now that he's back, now that he's alive, and everyone finds out, it doesn't matter who he is at that point. People gonna look for him because everyone knows he's alive.
No, I understand that,
and that's the exciting thing to me, because then we get to see older characters. We get to see some maybe characters of like Crimson Dawn that we never met. There's all kinds of things like that.
But what I'm getting at is, to me, it sounds like you're taking Boba Fett the bounty hunter, the badass that everyone grew up with, everyone loves, and you're trying to go, okay, he's now the dynamo, and you want him to do these fights with these badass people coming after him.
Well,
he's past that. That story is done.
That's the thing. He's not done if they're still alive.
But what I'm saying is that's not the story. They obviously don't want to tell that story. Disney's obviously, because we all thought when this started, this was going to be, we're going to get some flashbacks. We're going to get some stuff of him being a badass and stuff. This is about him creating a different future where it seems like violence isn't the first thing that's going to happen on this. It seems to me that he has come to an inner peace. And he's trying to kind of namaste and get that across the board.
And I completely agree.
And I don't think Disney's going to go, hey, we're going to bring in Bosk, we're going to bring in Forlom, we're going to bring all these characters that you know and love. I just don't see that. I don't see Luke showing up. They're going,
no.
But I'm just saying, I don't see these characters you're hoping from the old trilogy. I don't think that's what they're going to do, because I think he's going to keep his name kind of low. I think he's going to say he's a dino. He's going to go by that more than he's going to go by Boba Fett.
How do you keep your name low when you're the daimyo Tatooine?
You can go by the dynamo and not go by Boba Fett.
No, he's not going to go by the daimyo.
He's gonna fight a war. How does his name not going to get out?
The daimyo to him, the daimyo
I don't know.
is a title. He wants his name out there. He wants people.
He wants it on Tatooine.
But
he doesn't necessarily want it.
Doesn't mean it's going to stay on Tatooine.
He doesn't necessarily want it on Naboo and everything. Is what I'm saying.
Well, what I'm saying is you're right. He wants to keep the inner peace. He wants to be a different person. But that's the juxtaposition, right? Where you're seeing his past trying to interrupt what he's trying to make his future. And that's how you get the conflicts.
We'll see. I just, to me, that seems the predictable route. What you're talking about. Don't get me wrong. I want to see badass Boba Fett fighting other people. This Boba Fett walking around getting his ass kicked. Fuck that.
That's not the Boba Fett we know.
That's clearly what they're going. At least to me, they're clearly going, hey, this is not your mom and dad's Boba Fett. This is a guy that is past his prime. He could still do some damage, but he's past his prime. In his time, he's a man that's realizing, hey, I'm mortal, because he almost died in the Sarlacc pit. And he is now realizing that he's only got so long left.
I don't know. Last 2 episodes to show me he still kick ass. And still got that little mean streak in that Boba Fettness.
I thought he got his ass kicked by Black K.
He did.
Who's going to kick a Wookiee's ass?
But
Boba Fett would have.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's fully armored up and he's outside.
The thing is, though, they're trying to clearly show you this is not the same Boba Fett. Because Boba Fett before would never have gotten caught like that. Boba Fett before would not be in a Bacta tank.
I think that part of it's also, you have Fennec Shand was right, though. He's gotten soft.
Yeah.
He's gotten soft. And while Boba Fett, he's gotten to a point where he can stare at himself in the mirror. Okay. He has a sense of honor to him. But that sense of being a hunter and being a badass served him well. And as much as he may want to ignore it, he may have to rely on that in order to survive.
But did it really serve him well? Because he ended up in a Sarlacc pit at the end of it.
So
that to me was bad writing, because he ended up in a Sarlacc pit getting hit from behind by a blind Han Solo. Okay.
Hey, he still ended up in a Sarlacc pit where most people would have died.
Yeah, but he still got his way out of it. But again, it was just the Boba Fett that we all know that would never have happened to him.
The Boba Fett that we know had happened to him. That's the Boba Fett that got put into the Sarlacc pit.
No, but to me, the Boba Fett of The Empire Strikes Back and the Boba Fett of The Return of the Jedi were written two different ways. They were.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I just look at it this way. When you do a bunch of stuff and it puts you in jail, and you get out of jail and you realize that your life is not over, you change your tune. When you do all this stuff, you end up in the Sarlacc pit where you're supposed to die. You get out of it and you're alive, and you go join this nomadic tribe and stuff. It changes your perspective.
Right.
The Boba Fett that you guys want is gone. He doesn't want to be the fighter anymore. He's doing it because he has to, and that's what he knows. But really, I don't think that's what he wants.
What he wants and what he has to do are two different things.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure he doesn't want war.
I just think I think he's dead in 2 seasons, and he's going to die with the black saber.
You guys heard here first. JR has predicted that Boba Fett will only last 2 seasons, and Boba Fett will die at the end of the 2nd season
with the black.
So we will be back in 2 years to talk about this.
Or I'll be back in 2 years since I'm kicked off after this episode.
Bringing health and prosperity to Mandalore.
Yes. Well, hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see what Filoni and Favreau have in store for us. It's a long ways to go. We still got half the season left, so.
And we gotta wait a freaking 7 days to see another episode. Damn
it!
It's all good. Go read some comic books. Why can't they be
like Netflix and upload everything in one shot?
Please leave comments on this to tell me if I'm crazy or Jeff is wrong.
Please leave comments. Let us know. Hey, Anthony had a side to it too, so.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but more towards your side.
I played the middle.
No. His side was Boba Fett was fucked up already in the original series.
He was.
But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you to the panel. This was a great little debate. Look, we always get into it, but in the end, it's all for freaking just our geekhood trying to come out. That's all. Whatever we want. We want certain things to happen, and we all picture it different ways, but hell, whatever we get is what we're going to get anyways. Right. Absolutely. So, and I hope all of you guys are enjoying the show, the episodes, Book of Bobba Fett, because I think it's getting better as every episode goes on. And I'm excited to see war. I'm excited to see hopefully the Mandalorians come back.
Especially Mando.
And especially Mando.
Yeah, and no Omega.
I miss Mando. Yeah.
You know what? We'll talk about Omega maybe in another episode. Because I think that actually has something that has some merit to talk about, right? We can actually talk about that. Bad Batch is going on. It does tie into Boba Fett in some way. So we could talk about that at some future point. But hopefully, like I said, the future gets better for Star Wars. And you guys come back next week where we're going to talk about Chapter 5. And with that said, JR, you want to take us out?
Yeah, if you want to do it right, don't listen to Jeff.
Son of a bitch.